Hello? Hello. Okay. Hello. Hello, everyone. We're going to get started here real soon. Just wanted to let you know we have some refreshments over there. Feel free to help yourself to those. And we will get started here in a couple minutes for our super exciting event. I like that. It's like you teachers, you get someone to, you talk and you get everybody to quiet down. They listen to you. It's nice. It's nice. Well, we are very excited to have today. This is my inaugural event as part of the foundation, being the president, and I'm like, it couldn't be better. We couldn't do this last year, so to have the opportunity to honor you teachers is just, I can't even begin to tell you how excited we are to have this event and how proud we are of all of your work. So we're very excited today, so this is a great day. I also have to shout out, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you did, get to see the cars that were out there. Special thanks to Randy Wise for stepping up this year and doing this for us. Well, the foundation is something that I'm very proud of. We've been making some great strides, and our whole idea is just volunteers, and we want to do whatever we can to enhance the education in the community in Clarkston. We've tried to make our applications, our scholarships easier for you teachers to get, so please reach out to your colleagues and let them know that we have things available for them. We're trying to make it easier to get and more opportunities. So, as a favor to us, please just let everyone know that we are there for them when you get these great ideas to teach in the classroom. We want to be there to support you if we can. So please do that for us. Thank you. What I would like to say is there is only one winner today, but the other nominees, please hold your head high. I mean, you are the best of the best. You've been nominated by some incredible principals, and you just need to be proud of yourselves because your dedication to the community, the children, is just something that we cannot thank you enough for. So please hold your heads high if you are not the winner, because you're the best of the best. So we really thank you from the bottoms of our heart, and we're just glad that we can have this opportunity to honor you, discuss how you've made a difference in the schools and what you do. So thank you very much. Well, to start us out, we are going to go with our last teacher of the year, just to make a few comments, because she's the last one, and she was at Bailey Lake where my kids went, and she's got a special place in my heart. So Michelle, please come on up and say a few words.
Hello. Make sure you can hear me. My husband told me not to write this out, but I'm like, when I get in front of people, I'll forget everything, and then it'll just get crazy. So to begin with, congratulations to all of the individuals that are here that have been nominated for Teacher of the Year. I think it's an incredible place to be. Looking around the room and seeing the love and support. I wish we had more of our families. I know when I was doing this, times were a little different, but we do have some amazing individuals here to support you. Today is such a special day, and I'm honored and I'm humbled to have the opportunity to celebrate and honor all of you before me. You really are exemplars in education. We're here today because the Clarkston Foundation values educators. Clarkston Community Schools, in partnership with the Clarkston Foundation, has set the tone that we are committed to providing our young with the best opportunities to excel and exceed in their own expectations. It takes a village. The Clarkston Foundation has gifted our children opportunities by creating a strong connection to our supportive community. An integral piece in this partnership is recognizing and celebrating the educators that inspire, support, that create a connection that helps our children have curiosity, hope, and a love for making things happen, great things happen. And I am excited to be able to celebrate you. We are a family. That resonates in my mind. The individuals that are seated before us here, because many of you I recognize. My children have encountered, I've encountered. So I feel that educators that embrace the idea of family, Christine, Fawn, how special it was that I had Landon and I had Lauren and Riley in my third grade classroom. I'm glad that honored to be their teacher. My two boys have been guided by several of you as a coach, cross-country coach, cheering them on, mentors and teachers. So I have also been on the other end as a parent. As educators, we want the best for each child and to strive to bring best, just like what we want excellence for our own children. And I feel that you embrace that. Thank you to all of you that are seated before me. This year has been unlike any other year we've ever had. You have risen to the challenge of teaching during a pandemic. Your dedication and innovation to uphold excellence in education, I applaud you. Thank you to the Board of Education, our administrators, the Clarkston Foundation, Randy Wise Automotive, our community partners, and our families that support and celebrate the importance of education. So thank you to all of you for your dedication and your passion. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Michelle. That was great. I mean, it is. This has been a very difficult year, and the perseverance that you've shown and the strides that we've made and is just it's incredible. So just let's get this started. Let's talk about our Teacher of the Year committee. I do want to recognize a few of our members. We have Jim Evans right here. He's in his 30th year of the foundation. I have Jim Tedder here. Tyler Sajan, who is part of the committee. And this year we've also had Matt Evans, Jim's son, also part of our committee and is now part of the foundation. So without further ado, we're going to let him come up here and talk about the process and get this all going.
Awesome. Great, Dave. So good afternoon, everybody. Matt Evans. I've been in the Clarkston community since 1983, born and raised here, a graduate of the class of 2001. I know we were in front of our school board just the other day, but looking over these past winners, I was fortunate enough to have a few of them, Chuck Keegan, Janet Thomas, our very own Nancy Mahoney. I don't know how you kept me in line in 12th grade, but she did. I know my brother had Natalie Huco, who was our first Teacher of the Year winner in Clarkston schools. And just, I'm personally so grateful for the educators in Clarkston who helped shape me who I am today. I have two wonderful kids at Bailey Lake Elementary in 2nd and 3rd grade. As I said, I hope that they have the opportunity to at least be with one of these teachers as they continue their education in Clarkston schools. Again, thank you to the administrators, the educators in the room today. The headwinds that we have faced globally, over the last year, and everything that you've done, to continue the culture that we've built in Clarkston, everything you've done to engage, the community, parents, and most importantly, the kids, which I know has been extremely difficult as we've gone from, virtual to in person and back and forth. But again, round of applause to the administration, the teachers in the room, and the teachers that aren't here today for all of the work that you've done over the last, 14, 15 months. So as Dave said, this is my first year on the foundation. I've been on the foundation for I think like 4 or 5 months. Well, my father is celebrating 30 years on the foundation. So as the new guy, Dave's like, hey, do you want to be the chair of the committee of Teacher of the Year, maybe the most important committee we have, certainly the most rewarding and the most honoring? And I said, sure, I guess I will. So I want to thank our committee members, Ann Evans, Tyler Sajan, and Joe Koshin, who's unfortunately unable to be here today. But when I talked to Dave, I'm like, well, what do I have to do, right, to be, lead this committee and be the chair? He said, well, we have to go find a car first. And if you're not aware, there's a shortage of cars in this country right now with this chip issue we've got going on. But I reached out to a good friend and neighbor, someone I've personally bought many cars off of, Chris Bowen. And he's here today with Nick Banks from the Randy Wise Automotive team. So again, thank you both for stepping up to do this. I really appreciate it. So this year's selection process was very different than we've had in years past. And I know I haven't been involved in them in the years past, but about a month, maybe 5 weeks ago, Heidi said to me, she's like, well, we got to get this going, and can we get this done by May 26th? And I said, sure. We don't have any choice. Let's get it done because we want to do this. So I know, again, want to thank Heidi and Nancy. The two of them worked really hard to get a packet together, get a nomination packet together for our administrators to be able to nominate the 9 nominees we have in the room today. And in a matter of 2 weeks, right, the principals were able to just identify very quickly who stood out to them over this last year. And I really think that's a testament to the 9 of you in the room today, how quickly our administrators were able to single you out, and honestly a sea of amazing teachers everywhere. And in those 2 weeks, we were able to go through the nominations, what the administrators had said about each of you, your belief statements, and fortunate enough to have the opportunity to actually do a virtual interview with each of you just to get to know a little bit more about you, your passion, your engagement, your adaptability over the last year, and what drives you, your passion for the kids in the community. It was a rewarding, time that I know I personally got to spend with each of you just to hear more. I know I hear from the teachers of my own kids from time to time, but not the in-depth that we were able to hear from each of you. And in years past, we were able to do in classroom observations, and of course, we were able to do that this year. Something I know, Tyler and I were talking quite a bit about. He's been able to do in the past, and so hopefully we'll be able to do that next year. So again, just want to thank everybody at this point. I'm happy to turn over to our superintendent, Dr. Sean Ryan, for a few words, and then we'll introduce the nominees. Thank you.
I've been told not to prepare notes so we can keep comments to brief. Thanks, Nancy Mahoney, keeping me in line there. But first and foremost, I want to thank our Clarkson Foundation and Randy Weiss to step up and to make this event possible. If you look at any community, any organization, any entity, you learn a lot by what they celebrate and what they honor. And I think that Clarkston is so fortunate to have a community and a foundation behind it that really stretches to support the kids of our community and really make our school district a reflection of the schools that our community deserves, wants, and is willing and does support. And the Clarkson Foundation has done that for so many years. And I heard Michelle say it's a family. Well, it's a family not only in Clarkston, but even look in the Clarkson Foundation, one of the founders, his son on the committee, there's a legacy standard in Clarkston that gets passed on that we get to bear witness to and we get to protect and we get to continue to pass on. And when you look at something like being able to honor the teachers in Clarkston, you heard today, you've witnessed, you've seen it on TV, maybe you experienced it at home over the last year, the struggles, tribulations, and new learnings, and the stretching that everybody had to do in our country, in our state, in our community. That was no more so did we see that in our teachers and what they brought. They learned a whole new ball game, a whole new playbook just to start this year. And then, to the best of our ability to navigate this, we changed it up several times. We had to be light on our feet. And when you look at the teachers in this room, they did that, and we're honoring them today on top of that, representing their colleagues in the excellence that happened this year. It brings tears, and I get emotional thinking about my own children and some of the individuals in this room they've worked with this year and in past years. The amount of heart put forth by our staff, and especially to see the teachers in this room, is hard to even describe in words what they managed to get through this year. I've never been really so honored, so put in a position to where I really think that without the excellence and the support of our staff and what they brought to kids and everybody else, we wouldn't have got through this in a lot of ways. They did it for the kids in this community. And that notion of family and looking at what it means as far as what makes a great teacher and what you're going to hear today and see is it comes down to that relationship with kids. This year, our kids needed people to step out even a little further than they had before out of their comfort zones to make those connections. You know, whether they were sitting in their bedrooms or like I remember dropping off my daughter on mornings at the junior high and seeing the look on her face as she pulls up the mask as she gets out of the car. I mean, we trust our teachers to help make that gap and make it happen, our administrators and everybody else as part of the team. But I feel very fortunate today to be part of this celebration. And as I heard one of our speakers already say, you know, not only do we only get to represent one teacher of the year, not only is this an amazing group, but you represent your colleagues with pride and everything that you managed to accomplish this year on behalf of the kids of this community. So I want to say thank you for the foundation, thank you for the wonderful teachers and administrators that we have in Clarkston, and thank you to the Clarkston Foundation for making this possible. So, thank you. So first up to kind of do introductions and to get a little more personal direct on this is from Sashabaw Middle School, Miss Elizabeth Walker, principal.
Not as tall as Dr. Ryan. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for letting me speak about these fantastic teachers from Sashabaw Middle School. I first wanted to start by thanking the Clarkston Foundation so much for all of you do for the students and staff at SMS and CCS, but also just taking the time to recognize how fabulous our teachers are. Congratulations to all of the nominees. Having been able to work with so many of you, you're just such fabulous people, and I can only imagine how difficult this decision was this year. So without further ado, keeping everything kind of short and sweet today, I would like to let you know who our two candidates were from SMS, and I could go on and on and on about both of these ladies. I know this was a really difficult year in the middle of a pandemic, but year after year after year, these ladies are steadfast and strong and leaders in our building always, all the time, like without fail. So people I can turn to this year in the middle of a crisis and say, hey, we need to completely change everything we're doing. Can you help me? Or any other time when it's just normal things that we do. So I'm so proud and honored to be able to recognize them here today. And I'm going to start with my first candidate, who is Christine Butcher. And Christine, will you wave for us? Is she supposed to come up to these chairs? Yeah, I thought so. You're first up on deck up here, Christine. Like I said, I could go on and on about Christine, but I'm going to tell you just a couple of, seriously little blurbs from her resume or some points of pride. She's an excellent teacher leader. Christine is one of our at-risk coordinators in our building, and she works tirelessly with students who have lots of different challenges, whether it's social emotional needs or academic needs. She's there wherever they need help. She works with Oakland schools. She's been a literacy consultant there. She's presented at many a conference, sharing her skills with those around her. She's actually been a Clarkston Foundation Teacher of the Year nominee before. She's a member of our whole child committee, our social justice team, and a diversity committee in our building and out in the district. There's really nothing. Today I threw a new one at her even in my office, and she's like, yeah, we can try that next year. Like, there's nothing that we don't kind of bounce off ideas where she's not like, yep, I think that's because it's what's best for kids. She also takes her time after school and runs all kinds of different things throughout the year. Clarkston's Future Problem Solvers she's a part of, one of the coaches, as well as making sure that our Saturday tutoring program for students that is run by the high school students, she's the adult mentor for all of that and making sure that that peer-to-peer connection is also happening. So congratulations, Christine. Like I said, I could go on and on, but well done. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll bring up Monica real fast here too, so you're not by yourself. Right, that's so uncomfortable. All right, so Monica Phillips is up next. Monica is an excellent, extraordinary teacher. She teaches language arts for 7th grade. She's done ALA, she's done Gen Ed, English, but she's bounced around and done lots of other things for us too. She is a department chair. She is also a Future Problem Solvers coach. She has also been a Teacher of the Year nominee here with us before. She's worked through Oakland schools. She was a presenter at the Effective Practices Conference, and then she also was part of the Oakland Writing Project. She helps us in our building basically plan and facilitate all of our professional learning. So she is often working with other teachers throughout her school day. She allows teachers frequently to come into her classroom. She runs teacher labs. The best way to learn is through modeling and seeing how somebody who is excellent does it. If I have a struggling teacher, anytime they go and watch Monica teach, because it's just second nature. It's just what she does. She is everywhere in her classroom all of the time. I don't even know how she does it, but she is loved and respected by her students and her colleagues. So congratulations, Monica. Job well done. And Mr. Kern from the junior high was unable to be with us tonight, and I believe Nancy Mahoney is going to present for the junior high.
Thank you, Liz. Such an honor to be here. And I do believe we're celebrating the best, most important profession there is. I think it's just uplifting the hard work. Absolutely. It looks like from the junior high we have the Jennifer team, and I would like to start with Jennifer Berman. So Mr. Kern was not able. He did a beautiful write-up, and I'd like to share Mr. Kern's words regarding Jennifer Berman. She is currently teaching biology and honors biology at Clarkston Junior High School. One of Jenny's main goals is to get her students to believe in themselves and realize that they are very capable of achieving amazing things. Jenny is very highly respected amongst the staff and has a work ethic that is second to none. Jenny is probably one of the most organized teachers in Clarkston Junior High who constantly reflects on her teaching to determine ways that she can improve. Jenny is constantly trying to find ways to connect her science curriculum to the world that her students live in. She understands that the more the students can apply what they learn to the real world, the more they have excitement around the topics that they are studying. She holds her students to high standards, but it is also there to support them in every step of the way. She encourages her students to really explore science and find out things for themselves. She wants them to be curious while applying science principles. Mr. Kern says this is evident every year during our learner showcase, and Jenny always has so many students displaying their learning about something that they were interested in and wanted to learn more about. The students display what their process was in digging in around topics and how they conducted their experiments to even learn more. The students are at the showcase to explain to whoever asks what they learned and why it is important to them. They are so impressed with their speaking, and that is a direct reflection in the confidence that Jenny has instilled in every student throughout the year. Jenny is a leader amongst the staff at the junior high, both in the science department and in the whole school. Last year, the junior high looked to revamp their career day and provide students with a better insight into many different careers. Jenny was selected as a teacher leader in this process and led a team of teachers that developed what was to be a phenomenal day for the students. Jenny was able to engage the staff in the process and encourage each teacher to find a professional to come in and speak to the students during their career day. This was quite an undertaking, but Jenny was up to the task and had it ready to go before COVID shut it down, only days before it was to occur. Our school, the junior high, looks forward to bringing it back, hopefully next year, and Jenny will for sure take the lead on that. Mr. Kern has some colleagues that reflected on Jenny. As fellow teacher of the year nominee, Fawn Phillips says that she is very organized and thoughtful with her students. She updates and revises her teaching every year. Tremendous resource to the science department. April Cozen, a science teacher at the junior high, states that Jenny is an amazing teacher who strives to do her very best in all that she does. Jenny's a problem solver, an innovator, a dynamic member of the staff. Her enthusiasm, love, and passion for teaching is evident in all that she does for her students, her department, and the staff. Jenny does not work to serve for awards or accolades, but simply to inspire and impact all those she comes in contact with each and every day. She has mastered the difficult task of being firm but fair, having rules yet maintaining strong relationships, and most importantly, remembering that even though she is teaching her curriculum, she never forgets that she is shaping young minds. Jenny's such an important member of the Clarkston Junior High School staff and a great leader for the students. She has high standards that goes a long way with her caring and compassion for all that enter through the door. Her quiet leadership does not go unnoticed, and she has gained high respect from all that come in contact with her. Jenny Berman is definitely worth receiving this recognition. Congratulations. I'd like to bring up Jennifer Heliker. Jennifer Heliker is currently a math teacher at the junior high. She has also taught science in her career, but no matter what subject she is teaching, she does so with care and compassion for students that is second to none. Jen truly believes that all students can be successful. She constantly preaches effort to her students and knows that if she can get them to understand that by putting the work in, they can be successful in any part of their life. Jen takes pride in working with all students, but truly has a heart for those that learning does not come easy. She constantly is looking for ways to teach these students and get them to see success. Over the years, she's developed many different approaches to help our struggling learners. One of Mr. Kern's favorites is when she would take her co-taught students to the gym and let them run around for about 10 minutes. While many teachers would see this maybe as a waste of time, Jen knew that providing her students with just a little bit of this time, she would get more out of them during the rest of the class time than she would if she had them in the class the entire time. It is that type of innovative thinking that has allowed Jen to reach her students on different levels. Jen is constantly rooting for the underdog and there to support students who may have struggles beyond the classroom. Jen is not only a teacher, but a mentor as well. Jen is able to relate to many of our students, and she has experienced loss in her own life growing up. And she is able to speak to students as a living example that setbacks do not need to define you, but rather can be a means of motivation to help you succeed. That is just another way that Jen connects with her students and sees them as more than a math student. Jen is quite a leader amongst our staff, but when she does talk, everyone listens. She's a quiet leader, not quite. She's a quiet leader. And when she talks, everyone listens. She has high regard for all members of our staff as well as other educators around the county. She often has teachers visiting her classroom to learn from her and her teaching. Recently, Jen has taken on the role of Link Crew Leader. This is a new program to the junior high that will help 8th grade students transition. Even though it's a new initiative and will create additional work for her, Jen jumped in with both feet as she knew it would benefit students in our school. She has helped lead students and staff meetings to introduce Link Crew and will play a vital role in making this a huge success with the implementation in the fall. Some of her colleagues expressed some really beautiful strengths around Jen. Noah Sharrow, our math department chair, says that Mrs. Halligan is the consummate teacher. She is always creating a new and improved approach to a concept, always ready to help a student, especially those most at risk, and is always hardworking with all aspects of the job. Jennifer Halligan is the total package. Fellow math teacher Sean Wood explains that Jennifer Halligan is the teacher who is thoughtful about her planning. She thinks about her individual students and how to scaffold a lesson so that each learner can access the learning. I would like to say that she is gifted, which she is, but she is also a hard worker that makes learning attainable for all students. A teacher that is gifted and a hard worker can make magic happen in the classroom. Mr. Kern finalizes, Jen is the most integral part of our school community and has been able to reach so many students in so many different ways. Her sole focus is the success of her students, which can be measured in many different ways. Jen Halligan makes Clarkson Junior High a better place every single day and is very deserving of this recognition. Congratulations.
Wow is really all I can say so far. I'm sure that Randy Wise is trying to develop a way to give all these people a car over there. I mean, that's what I see them think. Oh, okay. Well, I want to introduce the principal of Clarkson High School. I was thinking about it yesterday, and I met him in 1977. I'm not that old, but yeah, I met him in 1977, and we've been friends ever since. He's a stellar person in the community, and the difference that he makes is also pretty incredible. So you can bring up Mr. Call, Gary Call. He's going to introduce the Clarkson High School.
South Sashaba Elementary. It's not even here now. And Dave will be 49 shortly here, so I already made it. Yeah, to say this was a strange year would be an understatement, but I'd like to take a moment by thanking the foundation because that's what we do while we're here. They put on so many activities and enable so many activities and so many great things to happen in our community. And I know they had to pivot a little bit this year because they couldn't do some of the traditional things that they've done, but they have been a great support to the high school and our other schools, and I really appreciate it. And I don't know if that would have happened if I wouldn't have had so many secrets on David John Coyne right here, so maybe I was able to twist his arm a little bit. But it's great to see you guys here, and I know you from when you were in school, and it's good to see how we have this turnover and support in the community. This process was also a little bit different this year. I wouldn't say it was hurried, but it wasn't as involved as it was before. So when Dave and Heidi said, hey, we're going to recognize some teachers this year, of course, I just thought it was wonderful because that's what we do very well at the end of the year. We recognize our kids, we recognize the members of our school community, and for a long time we were worried we weren't going to be able to do that. And it seems like things are shaping up at the end of the year, so from us to you guys as well, thanks for allowing us to be able to do this in such a great manner. It's terrific for our community and for our teachers. So what I started off by doing when I got that email from Heidi was just kind of walking around and asking some of my colleagues that I work with, hey, you know, they're going to have the award recognition this year for Teacher of the Year. Who should we have? And I'm not lying. Like the first 5 people were like, Claver and Vickers. Okay, you know, so you walk down the hall a little way. Hey, we're going to recognize some people this year. Who should we recognize? Oh, Claver and Vickers. And those were the 2 names that just kept coming up, and they were the first 2 names that I thought of as well. I thought of these names because both of these teachers, and maybe I should introduce them right now. Rachel Vickers, you want to come up? She's got lacrosse tonight. And Matt Claver, I'll have you come up too. Some of my colleagues who have spoken about their Teacher of the Year candidates go over and they discuss all the qualities that the teachers have and hold and just what makes them maybe a little bit better in the eyes of some of the members of our school community, our students, their colleagues, parents, administration. And it's kind of across the board. They check all the boxes. When you look at these 2 individuals right here, Matt has never said no to anything that we've asked him to do. He teaches in the math department and the science department. He teaches upper level students. He teaches students that have some academic challenges. He coaches. He does after school activities. He works with, our middle and early years college partnership program with the University of Michigan Flint. And one of the things that I really appreciate about Matt, he's a genius. I don't think he fully realizes that, though. He is very, he's not very quick to toot his own horn. And I hope that as we work together through the remainder of your career, you start to realize that, because he gives so much around the school, particularly to the science and math departments, that I think there's a lot more that he can bring to the table. And I hope something like this, which you guys have both been nominated before, correct? Yeah. I hope that through this process, you really start to realize that, because one thing I would say, this year's been very difficult, right? We continue to say that. I will seek out advice and counsel from teachers, and one of the people that I always go to, and I don't know if he realizes it, is Matt. And I'll walk in his room in the morning and I'll throw out a question to him, and he has always got an interesting perspective and an answer that I really appreciate. And so, along with getting along with kids and challenging them and holding them to a high standard, but knowing when to go easy on somebody, putting in work, being there in the morning and very late at night, and doing things within the school community. Matt also brings that to the table, and I really appreciate it. So you're very deserving. Congratulations. And a couple minutes to talk about Rachel here. There's not anything that happens really around Clarkson High School that she doesn't have a hand in. Sometimes I think there's 3 or 4 of her running around the school, because she just does so much. She teaches, she has found a niche? Yeah, you guys are the teachers of the year. You tell me which one I'm supposed to use. Within the English department, working with special needs, at-risk students, and they all find a home in their classroom. She also runs our leadership program in the school, which we rely on to do a lot around the high school. And you'll see the two worlds kind of mesh together. One of the goals that I have is I hope that someday before I'm out of here in the next 15 to 28 years, that we can expand on this idea that Rachel has just kind of formed this culture naturally. You will see students that don't like school, they don't like coming to school, find a home with her, and then all of a sudden they're helping out decorate for homecoming, which you would never see something like that. You can see that she's coaching and she's got her garb on tonight. Rachel, how much did you know about varsity girls lacrosse? Very competitive before you took it over. Nothing, absolutely nothing. She watched a few YouTube videos, and she has been, what year is this? 5? I was going to say 4. Year 5 of a pretty gosh darn successful lacrosse program that she started by watching some YouTube videos. And Rachel is also somebody, and I'll finish with this, that I go to and we go to seek advice and counsel, and gauge the temperature of what's going on in our school and what we need in our school and what our students need. So again, both of these guys check all the boxes for world-class teachers, and they also know exactly what our kids need, what our school needs, and I really appreciate that, and so do your colleagues. So congratulations, you're very deserving. You're all very deserving.
Thank you, Gary. That was just great. That's all I can say. I mean, I'm getting tears in my eyes just listening to all this. It's really incredible. So we're going to move on to another incredible teacher, Renaissance High School.
I figured out early on that I should never follow Gary Call, but I am the bigger Gary, so I think I'm good. I'd like to invite Patricia Heliker to come up here. Teachers have a challenging job. but alternative teachers, they have to go the extra mile every day. We work with students that walk in the door with challenges. They didn't earn them there, they didn't learn them there. They walk in the door with trauma, family challenges, anger issues, and lots of things. So I just want to share a couple stories of what Patty does. Not just these are the only two stories. These are just two stories that give you an example. So we had a student who was going to fail a class, and I was sure he was going to fail. And I came to Patty and I said, hey, he's going to fail your class. And I said, what can we do? And she said, oh, I'm meeting with him tomorrow. Before I even got there, she'd already reached out and already made arrangements to sit down and work with this student. And she worked with him for an entire day and got him caught up and got him up and passing. And he actually graduated last year. So, and that's every day, that it happens. And she teaches all of our science, not just a science class. She teaches biology, she teaches physics, she teaches chemistry, she teaches, all the science gamut. And the second story I want to share with you, and this is probably the most important thing to me, the thing that probably moved me the most, is we started this year in distance learning. And, and that was a tough thing. And students at Alternative miss school a lot just in school when they have a place to come where they're loved and cared for. But what moved me the most is she said, Gary, I have these kids that are not showing up. And I said, well, I know, because, I see the attendance reports. And she said, well, I decided I'm going to call every single one of them every day when they don't show up in my class. And she said, because they need to be here, because I have things for them to learn. And I want to see them, and I want to know what they're doing, and I want to know how they're doing, because I don't know how they're doing if they don't show up. And so what wound up happening is her class attendance was the best during distance learning of any of my teachers, because I would have students that would only come for her class because she reached out and because she cared and because she said, I'm their teacher and it's my job to come in and do this. And to me, that just spoke volumes. So when I sat down to decide, what teacher I was going to, promote for Teacher of the Year, my first thought was Patty Heliker. And I do have to tell one more quick story because I owe this to Patty. I made a mistake in my previous district in that Patty came in and interviewed for a job with me and I did not hire her. So I'm going to own that. And if I would have known then what I know now, I would have hired her in a heartbeat. And Patty and I have good fun with that. And because we have a lot of similar friends, as Patty's been an alternative for a very long time. But I can think of no better teacher who's going to reach out and go the extra mile and love these kids until they get through her class than Patty Heliker. So.
Next from Clarkston Virtual, we have Ken Jenzeric, who's going to introduce the nominees. Mr. Jenzeric.
First off, thank you, Clarkston Foundation. Greatly appreciate the time to be here today. When I started to talk about Teachers of the Year for Clarkston Virtual, two names right away came up for me. And as soon as I brought those names up to the individuals around me, they started to talk about all their amazing experiences from years before. They're phenomenal educators. They're phenomenal teachers. Well, this year was a bit different. They took on and they tackled something very unique, little experience with personally in terms of this idea of virtual. And they came flying in, ready to go, asking a ton of questions, wanting to be supportive, wanting to do everything amazing to support the students in this very unique time. Both of them, throughout the course of the year, they've been leaders for their team. So we're broken up between 6-7 and 8-9 team. Both of them phenomenal, solving problems every week. Because let's be honest, every week we went through the school year, we were faced with another set of problems. Both of them, rather than dwelling on it, took it on as a challenge, and a challenge to really make things great for the kids this year. I can't tell you the amazing stories I've heard back from families from both of them about what they did for the kids to help them be successful. So I'm going to start off with Shireen Alborn. Prior to teaching for Clarkston Virtual for the 2021 school year, Shireen was an ELA teacher at Sashabaw Middle School. An amazing job there with what she did to support her students. Countless committees, both within the building but also within her community that she's involved with to help support the kids. The list of honors for Shireen are amazing of what she does, whether it's supporting the social emotional side of students or the educational side of things. In Shireen's words, every child is an exceptional person, validated by individual discovery, connected to the world around them, and a creative contribution to their environment. Sheds a light on what type of educator Shireen is. She understands both the personal side of things of connecting with her kids and supporting them. So congratulations, Shireen. The second nominee for Clarkston Virtual is Fawn Phillips. For over 20 years now, Fawn's been teaching science to our students at Clarkston High School and Clarkston Junior High. In addition to her work as a teacher, she's also part of leading the whole science department in terms of a subject area coordinator. Does a phenomenal job. I first crossed path last year with Fawn when I started in Clarkston, when we started to adopt the idea of virtual. And just her dialogue, her questions, her wanting to engage in something new within terms of virtual started off right then, and then transferred into this year with being part of the staff for Clarkston Virtual. Fawn does an amazing job and has been on part of countless committees. She's been received awards for all the great things she does in supporting her students. For me, it went a little bit beyond for me in terms of Fawn and her experiences. It's her connection that she works with kids. Teaching is one thing, but the connection that all of you have with your students, what you do personally to build that relationship with them, says so much about you. That they want to be part of it, that they're there every day, that they're connecting with you, especially in a virtual world for both of you. So thank you very much. Fawn's idea of belief in supporting the social emotional along with the educational really pushes her ahead, and I greatly appreciate everything you've done this year. Thank you.
Okay, well let's get on to it. I think we can also thank Gary for making his mistake before to help our Clarkston community. It sounds like a good thing. So without further ado, we're going to get with Matt, and this has been a great event. And again, there's no losers here today. There's all just winners, and just I can only hope that my children, as they come through, get all of you in some way. That's what I'm going to be rooting for. So thank you very much.
As you can quickly tell after just hearing all of that, how amazing these 9 educators are. So congratulations again to all of you for being nominated. I will have to say, this is hands down one of the toughest decisions I've ever had to personally make for anything. So much so that the committee last night was still debating to the late hours of last night on this. And while we don't need a car, right, to recognize any of you or even the teacher of the year, it's pretty awesome to have a car. So to keep the suspense going real quick, I am going to invite up our 2 representatives from Randy Wise Automotive Team just to say a few words real quickly.
I just wanted to say, Matt called me about a month and a half ago, and asked me to be asked Randy Wise to be part of this opportunity, and we're privileged to be a part of this opportunity. I'm seeing why. I'm noticing I don't have a name tag, and like Matt, I have kids that are in the school district, and 2 of them are graduated, and then 2 of them are going into 3rd grade. So if you guys have them, don't hold anything against Randy Wise. But no, we're very thankful for this opportunity, and then congratulations to the 9 finalists, and good luck. And I look forward to meeting the person that wins, and then we'll go over your needs and wants, and we'll get you guys taken care of in that car. All right, thanks, guys.
All right. If I can have Ann Evans come up as well from the committee, and Tyler, of course, you're already here. I do want to real quickly recognize and thank the Clarkson Foundation, of course, which I am a member of now. But for the 8 runner-ups, the foundation recognized, the achievements that all 9 of you have had this year. And the foundation is giving the 8 runner-ups, each of you, a $500 grant as well to be used however you see fit. So pretty awesome. And so for the 2021 Teacher of the Year winner, recipient of a 2-year lease from Randy Wise, a $1,000 grant from the Clarkson Foundation, and a past nominee, this year we want to honor Monica Phillips, ELA teacher from Sashbaugh Middle School. Congratulations. Congratulations. If you want to say a few words, feel free.
Oh my goodness. I don't even have anything planned to say because I was looking at the list and notice my husband is not here, my children are not here. I'm like, it's fine. Let me just tell you who else I'm against, you guys. You guys are awesome. And it makes it even more special to know that you guys are up here too. So thank you. Thank you to you guys. What a hard choice. I can't even imagine. And I hope you can come in my classroom sometime soon. Ian and I were talking about that's the best part of all of this, and they can come see our students and see what we do every day. And we don't do it for the cars, even though that's pretty cool. Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys.
Dave, you want to close us out with some final words? Okay.
The final words are, I cannot reiterate what a great day this has been and for me personally. And we're going to be doing this moving forward as well. And I'm sure we're going to see many of them again because being a teacher, my wife is a teacher. I understand what what she's gone through this year and what they're going through. And they're the best of the best. So like I said, there's no losers here today. It was a very difficult decision. And we're just so proud of all of you. So thank you again. And just thank you. That's all we can say. Yes, we do have some some refreshments for everyone. Please help yourselves over there, and each of you, can you please, if you'd like to come by, we do have another certificate and your grant that we know you'll use very wisely.